Okay.
Let's see, I got my fat tooth then.
You ready? Now this just gonna kind of flow.
No, what the flow with?
Okay, great. Hello my dears, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for any notifications when I post a new video. So last week, you guys, we talked about emotional intelligence. We went through the whole kit and caboodle and talked about all 4 things that you need to know to have such a high EQ. Remember, it's learned. So I wanted to give you guys a little insight in on Sincerely Me, and I am here and I'm introducing my baby brother, whom I love so much. I call him Baby Squirrel. So he is going to talk about emotional intelligence with me, about me, and I'm going to talk about his. We grew up together. He's known me all my life. I've known him all his life. So we're just going to go through the 4 things and talk about, do we fit or do we think we have a high EQ? You can handle that?
I can handle it, baby.
Okay, so go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you.
Oh, man, most definitely. If y'all on IG, or most people are on IG, but follow me at Mr. Dallas 1911. I'm sure y'all be entertained there. Or you can follow me on Facebook at simply Braden Dallas. Follow me. Graham fam, I represent the HBCUs. Black Lives Matter. Yo's to the noob.
Okay, you got to be careful because though you said simply, like it's sincerely. So somebody might try to type it in.
I'm not
simply.
saying simply. My name is Braden Dallas on Facebook. On IG, Instagram, it's Mr. Dallas 1911.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, still, yo, to the noobs. Death Row, we in here. Grambling. Black Lives Matter. Go to your HBCU, man.
Facts.
You watching this? Go to your HBCU.
Period. We had that conversation too.
Most definitely.
And don't forget, you guys can follow me on Instagram at sincerelymdm_E_D. Same thing on Facebook as well. sincerelymedm_E_D. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm so excited. So the 4 things about emotional intelligence. Number 1 is self-awareness. So we're going to talk about self-awareness. So in all your, you care if I tell your age?
Man, I don't care. I'm 31 years old.
Okay, in all your 31 years, I've known him all 31 of those years.
Right.
So I'm going to ask a question. Now, I want it raw. Do you think that I'm self-aware of my emotions?
Most definitely. Like, when you say self-awareness of your emotions, are you meaning like just being aware of everything and how it affects everybody?
Yeah, like, do I know my triggers for when I'm going to get mad, if I'm going to be sad, if, I'm happy? Do I know my emotional triggers?
Yeah and no. I say yeah because I feel like if me and you are having a conversation, you'll open up the old big brain. You'll talk to me about it, but if it was going like I put it like this, as far as the difference between me and you, I'm very transparent about everything that goes on.
This is
You know what I'm saying? I open up to the world about everything that I got going on, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. You is more, you got to be in that inner circle, like mom, granny, brother type deal. And Big said you could contest to this. We gotta fucking dig it out of.
Okay, first of all, Big said that's our oldest brother.
Yeah.
Okay, he just throwing our name. And number 2, I can say the same about you.
Well,
I mean, self-awareness wise, you're transparent, but sometimes we didn't recognize. I'm gonna say this: we didn't recognize our own emotions.
Probably so.
I mean, we grew up in this house. We didn't have some fights. Like,
yeah, we had a lot of fights, a lot of stuff that went on. But I mean, I think as I got older, the more you can't cuss on here, right?
I mean, you done already cussed.
My fault. Hey, I'm sorry. But she said give it to you raw. So my thing is, the older we got, I feel like the more open you got about your emotions, as well as I did. Like the older we got, it's like that chip in your mind. It's like, don't say this because it'll hurt this person's feelings if you let this person know how you really feel. Like all that stuff went out the window the older we got. So.
Okay, so let me give you an example. Everybody, you just listen to this story. So, my brother is a teacher. Okay.
Believe it. Believe it.
So, I am a chemist, okay, by degree. Teaching was not my thing. My big brother is a teacher, my mom was a teacher, and my little brother. I was not going down their path. But this person right here can sell salt to a slug, like, no lie. So he convinced me to leave my laboratory job to go not teach, substitute, just to get my feet wet. Now, how was my emotions then? Because how many times did I go off on you and cry about the struggle?
Most definitely. Like when I came to you and I was telling you, you know, what to do for us, that was just in hope. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about my sister. I know, intelligence-wise, the way my sister articulates her words and the way she's a leader. Like I'll give you your props when I want to give it to you, I'm gonna give you your props.
Okay.
But she's a leader, so nevertheless, I felt like in the school system, I feel like she could be a bigger impact. Where she could, you know, not only teach what she loved, because I know she loves science, chemistry, and all that good old shit. She loved that. So I figured, why not teach it, and you'll be able to motivate youth at the same instance? Because I'm like, when I first jumped off in the water as far as teaching, it wasn't even, I was never teaching a subject that I got my degree in. I got a bachelor's degree in history. I wasn't even teaching that, but the feeling that I got, the fulfillment I got just knowing that when I started teaching, my first gig was at Fair Park. Like me coming in and students gravitating to me, like students that would normally skip school and all that stuff, they would come to my class as a safe haven just on the fact that I understood them and I motivated them to be like, okay, I'm gonna stay in school, man. School really isn't that hard, and okay, he believes in me, and if he coming from Cedar Grove or he's coming from the inner city just like I am, like why can't I be just like him? Because we got some of the same trials and tribulations. So I figured you could be that voice for the women. That's why I tried to put you out there.
Well, that's sweet, but did I cry a lot?
You cried every time something went wrong. I ain't gonna lie. Every time something went wrong, she would, you know, use Big Bray as a punching bag. I ain't gonna lie. She used to be like, I had this going, I had insurance and all this. And my, what you working at? Willis Knight?
Yes.
At Willis Knight, I had my insurance, and I done left.
Listen to
his ass, and his ass and left and went to Dallas.
Secure. I was secure.
Big Bray had the hop cut when the spot gets tall. If I see a leak in the boat, Big Bray jump cut.
This is the thing. I was secure, and so he put me out there. But you know, that's a whole nother video about getting uncomfortable, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a whole nother.
Look at you now. Look at you now. I seen great.
We're not even going to talk about look at me now, because we're going to do a whole nother video on the struggle that it took me to get there. I'll tell you the steps. I'm not ashamed. I'm going to tell you the steps.
But you there.
I am. And that's fine. But emotionally, intelligent wise, I cried.
Yes, you did.
Every single day. And then in the classroom, I didn't have a high EQ with my kids. I'm being honest. I did not. Those 11th graders, I was... How old?
Probably 29.
That was in 2015. I was 29. I was a 29-year-old.
I was 27.
In there, I had a child, a husband, and I went in this classroom with these 11th graders, and I had this fictitious account in my head that when I walked into the classroom that all the kids were going to be like, I'm ready to learn. Teach me something. No. If my 11th graders that had my chemistry class, they know it. I went through pure hell, and it made me cry. It upset me. I couldn't figure it out. And then this little buddy right here, the main one who got me out there on that water, decided to be like, I'm finna abandon ship. So
no, it wasn't that I was abandoning ship. It's just, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't making any money in Shreveport. So once
don't put Shreveport down.
look, I'm not putting. I love the city.
Okay.
I love the city of Shreveport. But far as for my experience, what I was doing, I wasn't making enough money. So what happened is that I filled out for Dallas, and they gave me opportunity, and I shot. But I missed the kids. I ain't gonna lie, I miss my kids from Fat Park. I miss my kids from Huntington, and a lot of these kids I still keep connection with kids now. Like they love old Mr. Dallas, old Coach Dallas, man. I kept it real with these kids. They know I got that real love for them, man, for real. I got that real deal love.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Number 2 in high EQ. Just by that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a, I ain't gonna say I had a pretty low EQ back then. I did. I'm just being honest. It wasn't. But mind you, remember, this is something that you can grow on. Like, you teach yourself these techniques. Learning how to recognize your triggers. I'm a better teacher for that first year of not knowing emotionally what to do in the classroom. So now that I know, my kids don't tack on my nerves like they used to. Like, it's a growing process, like in everything. EQ grows with you. You don't just become highly emotional intelligent. It grows. You learn step by step how it works. So, number 2, self accountability.
Yeah, you saying do you have it?
Yeah.
Most definitely. I most definitely.
So I like self-reflecting. I can get me together.
I feel like, yeah, you do that every day, probably, even if you don't even notice yourself doing it. Like, you hold yourself accountable, and even if I know when something wrong. Big Braden know when something wrong.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
I know, but what I'm saying, I know.
Throw my nickname out there.
Well, you said Braden Squirrel.
I did. I
well,
told
your name
Guna.
Guna. Well, her name growing up was Guna.
I'm gonna bleep that out.
A punkin' eater.
We gonna bleep that out.
But
We're not even worried about
anywho,
that. Go ahead.
She's one of the type that grab our own self by the collar. Sometimes I feel like, you might need my little words of encouragement just to know somebody care outside of the old folks in our family.
There's vice versa. We encourage each other.
Most definitely.
Okay, say that for the next one. So let me see. Do I think, you know what? Before he moved into his extravagant life with new house, new cars, new wife, like before he moved into that extravagant life, I don't think you were self-accountable.
No,
You had self-reflection moments, but you were not self-accountable because it was like every time he was like, I mean, if this wouldn't happen, then I wouldn't be in this. So it was always a cause and effect. Now, one thing about emotional intelligence, when you're being self-accountable, you can't always attribute everything to cause and effect. That's a common phenomenon. True. Cause and effect is going to happen. But, like you said, you have to, like, snatch yourself up by your own collar and just be like, all right, I know this happened. What do I do to fix it?
You brought that's an interesting point that you brought up because when that type of stuff, like, cause you telling the truth, and when I look back, you got to think back, like your name, but when you think back, at that point in time in my life, I think it was more than. It was just, for me, it was just a self-crumble of my life, of what I thought it would be. Like at 25, like if you take me back to 16, what I thought I would have been at 25, star football player, A1 grades. I always had A1 grades. Like, you better ask them. High test scores, high ACT scores. Keeping it real. But once I got to 25 years old and I realized, okay, I have a child, I'm not making any money, I'm not where I wanted to be at 25. When you 17, 18, you have in your mind at 25 you're gonna have the wife, you're gonna have the picket fence, dog, big house, 2, 3 kids running around there, and y'all be living your best life in your foreign whoops. And that was fantasy, fairy tale.
It was.
And my reality, shit, at 25, I'm still in damn college. Oh.
But that's not.
It wasn't that I was old.
You was college age.
I was college old. So I'm in this thing, I'm like, damn. But the crazy thing, I went to Grambling, I only did 4 years. But I didn't go until I was 22 years old. So at this point in time, it still was hitting me because everybody else that I went to high school with, they immediately went to college. So when I was going to college, they was graduating. So everybody that was in my age range, they getting in their profession, they making money doing
I
different
think
stuff.
we just blossomed late. I just feel.
Oh, we were very late bloomers.
Late bloomers.
But the
whole Dallas clan.
Yeah,
we was late bloomers.
Hey, I'm on that. I'm on that.
But we got longevity. After we bloom late, we got longevity.
Yeah, it was a point in time in my life where, like you said, it was hard for me to take accountability because I was playing the blame game. If I wasn't hanging with these people, then I wouldn't have went broke. If I didn't date this person, I would be this way. If this person didn't do this to me, I wouldn't have that. And what hit me is after once I crossed and then I started meeting different people and started seeing life from different perspectives, it started putting me in that mind frame like, okay, this has happened. This is the past. It's like milk that's on the ground. Once it hit the ground, you can't put it back in the cup. So now what you do? So I started taking accountability and just start making everything I said. It might sound far-fetched, but I always try to strive to make it happen. And that's when I started. Like I said, once I got older, I started taking more accountability.
See, matured into it. Like he wasn't always what you see right now. Like EQ, it takes a while. It takes a good little minute. Now, here come the good stuff. So we didn't hit personal competence, which is self-awareness, self-accountability. Now, you got social awareness. Now, I can talk all day. His EQ is so high when it comes to social settings, it's unreal. My baby brother is a social butterfly. I, on the other hand, am not. I am friendly. I can give you a big smile, but this young man here can work a room like no lie. And so in the video, if you watched it, if you haven't, go watch it. Literally high EQ with people, especially with leaders, CEOs, businessmen. In his case, teacher, because he won't be a teacher for long or a coach for long. He's a natural born leader. So he can go into a room and he can read the emotions in the room. And literally, if something is wrong, he's the jokester who will say just the right thing and turn the whole mood around in the situation. And you be like, how does he do that? That's him. Like when I say he can sell salt to a slug, can. When I say he's everybody's friend, is. How he's transparent, he does that. So now, vice versa. When it goes,
let's spit flew out.
when it comes to me, do you think I'm socially aware? Do I have a social awareness? Am I aware of other people's emotions and feelings? Can I read the emotions in a room?
Well, I'm gonna have to say this. Like I say, it's all a growing process on certain different things, and I think that comes to, and this might sound crazy, but how we were raised younger. Like mama and them let me be more out there to meet different people, and you like she still had a curfew like at 22, 23. Like you wasn't able to be out there and be social, and then if you look at it, for me being a captain of our football team in high school, I always was a leader. Even in my earlier years, I've always had to talk. I always had to be in a crowd full of people, 80 to 100 boys, and they all looking at me to say something that's gonna like
Change the trajectory of the football game.
Change that. Give them some type of pep talk or some type of stuff to uplift the emotions or the situations at hand at that moment. So when it comes to, I guess, the real world, what we would call it, the professional world, corporate world. Corporate world. These are, in my eyes, you are still that same guy that went to high school with me.
I say that all
You were still that same guy that played football with me. You were still that same kid that when I was whatever, like a star ball player at Southwood, man. And by the way, off the record, Southwood, shake back. Y'all ain't won nothing since I left, and I left way in 07. But anyway,
Sir,
I'm just saying, because somebody wanted to hear it. But they wanted to hear it. Somebody watching this was thinking the same thing. But anywho, what I'm saying is, in my mindset, in my mind frame, my thought process, when I go into any room, I always look at it like, I never was the dumb kid. No. You know well as anybody, I've always had AP classes, enriched class from the time I hit elementary school to the time I left. So you never made me feel uncomfortable as far as the intelligence side of things. As far as the popularity side of things, I was always the most popular kid. So when it comes to talking, when I look at you, you could be 40, you could be 21, you could be 35. In my mind, you just said, let's see what he got to say. You might be more intelligent than me. You might be on a higher pay scale than me at the time. But in my mind, I'd be like, okay, y'all are just regular people to me. You put your pants on how I put mine on. You breathe and bleed the same way I do. So I'm like, you're not a robot. You got emotions. You like to laugh too. Some of the stuff I say, it might not be politically correct, but you might be feeling it. And I'm going to say it. And then it doesn't matter. I have stature as well. Stature, when you walk, stature, when you're talking, that means a lot.
Oh, you mean like
your
tall?
Your physical stature.
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay.
So when I step in the room, it's not like I'm some guy that's 5'2", 130 pounds where I feel like I'm intimidated. I'm normally the biggest guy in the room or one of the biggest guys in the room. So when you put all this stuff into it, it's like I have I don't know, it's like the presence that I bring to it. I just feel like I'm that guy in the room. As soon as I walk in, I'm that guy. If I'm interviewing, if I get the interview, I know I got the job. Like, even when I met Janae, it was one of those situations. I was like, man, we get on the phone, it's over with. Like, I already know, I got the gift of gab.
High EQ, and mind you, high EQ, it is borderline. He can definitely read a social setting very well. Like, he's in a fraternity as well, and all this stuff. He not finna use my channel. He not finna use my channel to just throw up noob signs.
I just said when she said.
Hey, I'm just saying. How many times I've been on this a little minute, and they probably don't even know
that you're okay.
No,
but look at your nails.
This has not always been like this.
But it's like that today.
Subtleties. He's outward, forward. He puts it in your face. Subtleties.
Not really.
High EQ in that area. He is a social goat. I'm gonna put it like that. He's a social goat, and that type of confidence comes from just him growing up, like knowing exactly where it was. Me, on the other hand, you ain't said nothing about.
Oh, my fault. I'm all on me because this is my first time.
See what I'm saying?
Because the people, they might want to follow me. I might get one of these Simply Be. You know what I'm saying?
Simply Be.
Hey, but look here. Anyway, look.
Got to be.
Look.
I won't interview him no more. Y'all, this is the first and last time you gonna see Baby Squirrel on Sincerely Me.
Look.
Facts.
Oh, you might get follow me at Sincerely Me. Because we got one of these too. I like this. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, as far as with you, I feel like you're one of those type of people that when you come in the room, you like your mama. You got to observe too much. you observe, but once,
you got your
but once my daddy, he do this. I don't know why, but anywho, once you observe and you realize where you rank on the totem pole, that's when I feel like that's when you hit them in the mouth. But 9 times out of 10, when you're in the room, you probably is one of the smartest ones. I ain't too nuts because she my sister. I'm just keeping it real.
That's so sweet.
I always say that done about Marty. I don't know who I'm talking to.
Do not.
It looks weird, but anyway. I always say that about Martha. But when you come in the room, you probably already one of the most intelligent people. But a lot of times it's like, by you being observant, you might come off as, okay, she's quiet, okay, she's not this, that, and that third, but you are funny. You do have a sense of humor. You pretty much me without being just out there. Yeah, we were raised together. We were never 2 years apart. We pretty much got the same personality, all that type of stuff. And once you like warm up to people, then all that stuff, you very social. Like, people like you, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you some weird, well, I was gonna say weird nerd. You are a nerd. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's not.
You are a nerd. Hey, people, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
I'm a beautiful black nerd.
Well, I don't know. I was gonna make up a word, but because I'm a nerd and a stud all at the same.
You're not. You're not.
A stud? No, that ain't that. Nevertheless, I feel I'm both. But anyway, with you, I just put it like this. Once you warm up to people, you become people's favorite, whether that's in the professional field, whether that's at the church setting, whether that's... but that's the truth. You see what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real. I ain't gonna toot your horn unless, it need to be tooted, but that's one of the things that make you great. Once people get to know you, you have that personality and all the stuff that goes along with it that make people want to gravitate towards you, whether that's little kids, old folks, or anything in between.
So are you saying I need to avoid being so observant?
Yeah, you got that from your mama. I'm talking about when you come in, you got to be...
Mama gonna watch this.
And she might want to hear this too. I'm not holding back. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mom. I think, but don't call me, please. Look, don't beat me down. I don't think I feel it. I think I too big. But anyway, nevertheless, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you come in there and just let the greatness of you just shine bright when you first get in there, you'll be in the same playing field that I'm in, but being that, like, you didn't play football.
No.
Like, you was not a captain where you had to lead a bunch of people. You was never looked at as the person that had to be the voice. So...
yeah, I'm good behind the scenes.
yeah, like, I put it like this. So we were Cash Money, she's Slim, and I'm Birdman. Put it like that. I'm the dude that's out there. You don't even know. So I ain't saying she look like Slim. Slim ugly than a motherfucker. My sister look good. But Slim ugly than a motherfucker. But nevertheless, what I'm saying is Slim behind the scenes. Birdman, he's in the forefront. I'm the one, and Birdman very intelligent and all that knowledgeable about what he do.
I don't know.
Man, Bird, if he had made...
put some respect on my name.
If you look at Birdman, at one point in time, he had 4 people out of his label, tops on the Forbes list, which was him, which was Wayne, which was Nicki Minaj, and Drake.
I didn't know this.
All these people under Cash Money.
Still?
Yes. Yeah, Birdman's still doing it. So he's still making money. And
so is Slim?
Slim, him and Birdman are partners for Cash Money. They are both CEOs, but you never knew about Slim because he's behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
That's why you Slim and I'm Birdman. Boo! I can't make the noise. You know the bird call. Do the noise.
No, I cannot.
You know when they do it. All right, next question.
Okay. So if you was just feeling bad, that's all right, just like that. Now, you gotta roll your own. There you go.
That's it?
Yeah.
He sound better.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
He's practiced.
Yeah, all right, this is my first time.
Okay. Last part of
Yeah.
social competence is social or relationship. They say relationship management or accountability. Like, how well do you manage in the relationship? And I'm with y'all. I said this in the previous video. We're not talking about partnership like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. I listed everything: wife, husband. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about relationships. Like, me and my brother have a relationship. How do we manage the emotions with each other? Now, when we were younger, since we are emotional people, especially when things were frustrating and we were growing up and we couldn't figure it out and we were all over the place, our arguments were so heated because of the fact we're emotional.
Yeah, it be, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be like, man, Morgan be finna fight, boy, throw down in this bitch. And what would get
He
me,
was bigger.
at this point in time, when, like, this was around the time Morgan was probably a senior to her freshman year in college, like her senior year in high school. Mind you, at this point, I'm varsity high school football. I'm yoked the fuck up, and
I ain't never seen it.
and Morgan, yes, boy, that shit used to
Never.
piss me off. Cause Morgan, boy,
Never
the way
scared.
she talk, Morgan will make you think she
Ever.
can whoop a nigga ass, and I know,
Ever
boy,
scared. Better believe it.
cause I was laying down large, yeah.
Better believe it. Was never scared.
And then I come home, me and Morgan,
Wouldn't.
we'll argue over cell phone bills.
Sir, we're not even finna get into that. You had a whole accident when you were younger, hurt your neck, and literally from that time we were trying to become adults together and manage a cell phone plan together. He had to pay his half because he was going to work, and I had to pay my half. But why? I always ended up paying the full, the total, the grand amount. Always.
Well, first and foremost, I think I inherited debt on that. Y'all know how I did in the hood, boy. The bill was already, before they added me on, it was probably $3-4.
It was not.
And
You
then
got
they
to
put
pay your
that
cell
back.
phone bill off to $0. You don't get extension after it. Moving on. We're not even gonna go there because
She would turn my phone off. That
This
was
brother-
childish. That was childish. You know when you get mad at your sibling, but you the sole or the authorized person with the phone, she get mad, turn the phone off and shit. You know, play them little fuck game. Turn
It
the
made
phone
you a
off.
better man.
It ain't make me shit. It made me go to Metro PCS, baby. Hey, look, y'all put me on back when I was about 19. Shout out to the prepaid contracts. You know, they
You're not
helped me out.
You're not finna turn this into a promotional video.
Well, what
You
I'm
done
saying-
promoted Kappa. You done promoted Jude. You done promoted Metro PCS. You done promoted your
Grand
high school. You done promoted Grand Fan. This not a promotional page. Anywho.
Yeah.
But I can say this, that even when we used to have those arguments, both of us, because we had such good relationship management, now we're much better now. I promise you we're much better now. We three, or I can say we four, the four siblings, it's me, my brother twin, that I call him my twin, and then my baby brother, and then my big brother. We have three-way phone calls on either Instagram or whatever. And literally, we have conversations where we talking about each
open
other.
about them problems, but they being a joke now. Like,
Everything's a joke now.
Everything's a joke, but if we nigga been saying some stuff that's hurting you the most right now in life, and then
But
made a joke
the
about
last
it.
argument, it wasn't even an argument. It was a conversation, and it was you and Shedrick. Y'all were into it. And mind you, I was trying to be the peacemaker because she's the peacemaker. And literally, they didn't want to hear nothing I had to say because it was them two. But at the end of the day, I had to get up out of it just because they're brothers.
Right.
And once the situation is
So once
over
you
with,
got off the phone,
they back laughing and
you got
talking.
playing the
And then they
games.
would be talking about me. So, no,
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
good.
That's
I'm
how
good.
it go. I mean,
I'm good.
Shedrick our big brother and stuff, and I mean, a lot of time he wants to be right. Shedrick don't like to be wrong at all. So if he says something, and niggas on they man sometimes, you know, things get a little heated.
You know, I don't watch this shit.
He can watch
Okay.
it. I mean, because my brother gave me a lot of game. Helped me.
I mean, he
do a
was
lot.
good at that.
Sugar, like, I ain't gonna fake. He really, like, gave me game from the time cause I ain't like his ass at first. I ain't started liking Sugar till I walked by.
But you had to mature to like him. Sugar is like a different kind of wine. He's an acquired taste.
Bro, that nigga gets
Bray is everybody taste. See, Bray is like Stella Rosa. Cheddar like Dom Perignon. It's a little different. It hit a little different.
He used to beat me in Morgan and make
Who?
us. Well, I used to get beat.
He never.
And he used to make us. You ask for water, he overdo it and shit. Get a big pot and shit.
See what I'm saying? We're not even finna go there.
But anywho, nevertheless, me and my brother,
Relationship management.
We got cool round about 14, and ever since then, I mean, that man gave me nothing but game on. Far as football, women, relationship.
It's another shout out.
Emotional thing. Hey, Big said you did your thing, man. I appreciate you, man. Whether I don't tell you or not, you know, enough. You feel it. You know, our family never really speak on love. Like our immediate family, we never say that much, but you feel it. You feel it too. See how when she smiled when I said that.
Y'all see what I'm saying? Hijack. I've had 2 different interviews. You have been one of my interviews, and then Bishop Braden has been one of my interviews. And
shout out to Bishop, man.
God,
hey, when I was going through my script, hey Bishop, you preached and you a lot of times you took me from a low point to a high point. Shout out to you, my man. He deserved it. Then I'm gonna holler at you about my wedding too. My sister said you wanted to marry us and stuff. July 10th next year, we coming down next year. I bet what you was talking about.
This not even my channel no more. It's been hijacked by Sincerely B, and he done gave his whole input on emotional intelligence. I called twin brother. He said he was gonna try to. Anywho. Doesn't even matter. You guys, emotional intelligence is something that you have to learn, whether it be personal awareness, personal management, social awareness, and relationship management. All 4 of those things can be learned over time. So, as you have learned from said brother, he ain't learned nothing. On my channel today, he has taken this to a whole nother thing. Now notice.
Yeah.
Who has the higher emotional intelligence? Don't answer. I'm gonna put a poll down. Y'all go vote. Just vote it out.
Oh, you know how to put a poll on her?
Yes.
Man, you big time.
This is too much. This is too much.
Like what they can click when they go on her?
Yeah.
Girl, you the motherfucker.
Y'all just vote it out.
Straight
Who do you
up.
think has the higher emotional intelligence?
Put mine on this side. Vote for me. Put it on this side.
Vote for me, because as you can see,
Yeah.
I done been hijacked. It's not even my channel.
This probably gonna get the most views anyhow. I'm gonna post it on my
We
page.
just keep going. I mean,
I got
we just
20,000
nonstop.
followers. The people follow me.
On Instagram, you got 20,000 followers.
No, but I got 6 on Facebook and I got 14 on
So you have a
Instagram.
combination.
Yeah,
Got a
20
combination.
days, okay. Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, you guys, I am so excited that you guys took the time out today to join me and my baby brother. He did another promo, didn't he? Me and my baby brother on my channel talking about emotional intelligence. Don't forget to do that poll. And if you want the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, click down in the bio. There will be an Amazon link for you to click on. Click on that link, buy that book. We are coming back with more books. I've already ordered some more books because, you know, I love to read. We are going to be talking about the myth of race. We are going to be talking about on tyranny. I just got to go back. We got too many racial tensions going on in the world for me not to address them and find some good reads for you guys and review them with you, and we can talk about it. So, dear you, what do you want to learn about yourself today? Sincerely, me.